Revelations of My Heart, Poems, Prayers, Notes, and Quotes. This book was actually inspired over 17 years ago, and I've been writing poetry from the top. As early as I could be able to learn how to write, I've been giving poetry to my parents as gifts and write cards, and I've just always loved poetry. And so with that said, I'm going to start. Said so many times my husband has said that I should do something with my writing. He has been one of my biggest fans. I've always enjoyed writing and secretly wanted to write a book, but truth be told, I was really afraid of possible rejection. It wasn't until I was faced with some life-altering events in 2013, I decided no longer will I be concerned about what other people thought and being accepted, nor pleasing them any longer. A cancer diagnosis will do that to you. I realized that I had devoted many years to people pleasing and forgot all about me. It was a bitter pill to swallow when I was diagnosed with cancer, and all the people I thought would be there to support me weren't there. I realized that I expected them to respond how I would respond. Battling a potential fatal disease, I felt abandoned in more ways than one. My life was spiraling out of control, and it was nothing I could do about it. I was wounded by some of those who claimed to have loved me so much. Instead of focusing on picking those wounds, I opened my heart to forgiveness and the love that had been strategically placed around me. I noticed how prayers that I had prayed several years prior had been answered. I saw relationships that I desired to be cultivated being cultivated, and I saw some aspects of others in. I had no idea of the blessing that will come from what seemed to be such a disaster. God knew exactly what I needed in that time in order to comfort me, and I found solace with my pad and pen. The pressures of life pushed me to pull out old journals of poetry and pressed me to push my pen. The outcome was Revelations of My Heart. Love is the central theme of Revelations of My Heart. It's an intimate collection of poems, prayers, notes, and quotes. Every word was inspired by my life experiences, special people in my life, and the love I withheld from myself. I've learned that the way I treat myself is the only way I can treat others. Nothing less, nothing more. Anything else is deceptive. I couldn't love my fellow man as myself because I withheld love from myself. I am no longer deceptive. I'm not ashamed or afraid of my truth. Revelations of My Heart has given me courage to be who I am. Nothing more, nothing less. My experiences no longer define me. I have finally defined myself. My desire with this book is that you can visualize the passages that I've penned and find hope throughout the journey. The first thing I did, like I said, it's about love. And those that are in my life, my parents, my grandparents, my son, my husband, the love that they showed me and what I've learned from their love. And it's really been inspiring just to have them in my life. And so I took 1 Corinthians 13 and I made it my own. Love, agape. This is not based on passion. It's not a feeling. It's a commitment based on principle. Verse 1. If I can speak in a language that is understood by angels, possessing every imaginable mode of speech but don't have love, my words are not lasting, just as the sound from a cymbal or a gong piercing in my ear, or a gong piercing in my ears of the hearers, but not only for a moment, it vanishes quickly. Even if the gift of prophecy, which is the greatest gift to the church, or being able to reveal all mysteries and all scientific theories, if I had a faith that could tell a mountain to get out of my way and it moves, but don't love, I'm nothing. I can give everything I possess, including the clothes off my back, give my body over to be burned as a martyr, but don't love, all that was done meant nothing, and nor did I gain a thing. So no matter what I say, what I believe, what I do, none of these things mean anything without love. Love never gives up. It's patient. It's long-suffering. Love cares for others more than for self. It's kind. It doesn't want what it doesn't have. It's not envious or jealous. Love doesn't boast or brag. It doesn't parade itself. Love doesn't have a swelled head. It's not proud. Love doesn't force itself on others. It's not rude or disrespectful. Love isn't me first. It's not all me, my wants, desires, or feelings. It's about others. It's not self-seeking. Love doesn't fly off the handle. It's not quick-tempered or huff and puff. It's not easily angered or provoked. Love doesn't keep score of the sins of others. It doesn't keep records of wrong. It does not enjoy doing or thinking wrong, wicked or sinful. It takes no pleasure in what is evil. It rejoices with truth. Love is a roof that covers and protects all that is under its shelter. It bears all things. Love always trusts in all things. Love always hopes. It always looks for the best. Love perseveres. It never looks back. It remains steadfast in the face of unpleasant circumstances. Love never fails. Love is permanent. It will never come to an end. It is eternal. But prophecies, they're not eternal. They will come to an end. As well as tongues, they will also end. All knowledge, theoretical and scientific, will reach its limit and meet its end. These things are rendered obsolete, but not love. Everything we know is only a portion of something greater. Even when we prophesy, it's not complete. But when the end comes or appears, what is known and prophesied will disappear. Look at it this way. When I was a child, an infant or immature, my language was that of an infant. I was simple-minded and understood like a child would. My very thoughts were that of a child. When I grew up and became mature, all that I did when I was a child, how I spoke, my level of understanding, and my thought patterns were not the same. It became apparent that I was no longer a child, and neither would I ever be again. Right now we see things indirectly and imperfectly through a mirror where our reflection is total opposite of what our reality is. But when we will see face to face with total clarity, right now all I know is partial and incomplete. But when I will come to know completely, just as God already knows me now, but now stand in the truthfulness of our God. This is our faith. Stand in expectation of his glorious appearance. This is our hope. Stand in love. Make a deliberate choice to love. These things be steadfast in. But above all our responsibilities, to love is the greatest.
Amen.
Now, and I use 1 Corinthians as my love gauge. So if I'm judging someone, bringing up their wrongs, even my own, I say that's not love. And I have to reevaluate it. And so I went on to, I must begin to love me. And I wrote this poem called Before I Am, I Was. Before I was anything that I can say that I am now, I was something else. And that's with all of us. We were something before we are now. He was a doctor. Now he's an author, you know? And so with that being said, before I am, I was. How can I get back to that place where pain was lost and forgotten. And how could I desire freedom that has never been spoken of? Trying to remember that place, the very place I was beyond my mother's womb, a spirit from self-existent himself. In that place, was there time and space? Was there any darkness? In that place where I was, were there suns, moons, and stars? What about big, bright, cotton-like clouds that I enjoy seeing where I am? Where I was in that place, was there joy, serenity, bliss? Was there a need to escape and just clear my mind? Or was the brilliance of beauty mind-blowing at every glance? Was there a need for air, for water, for food, or a place to rest my head? What about stress from trying to make ends meet like there is where I am? What about the second place where I was before I got to where I am? Not even a mere distant memory found in the recesses of my mind. No spark, no flame, none that I remember when I was closest to my mother. I don't remember the flips or kicks that were associated with the mystery of where I was. But what about the hiccups that I used to get? Did I suck my thumb? What did my father's voice sound like? And my mother's too. Was the rhythm of my mother's heartbeat the first music I danced to? People say where I am, in that place where I was, you can open your eyes, feel, and hear. Why is it all forgotten? What did I see where I was inside my mother's womb? Did I leap for joy when I saw her joy? Did my eyes cry when I saw her pain? Did I cover my ears when I heard every secret thought she'd never speak? Did I fold under the pressure I was feeling, desiring to go back to the first place I was? Cramped and consumed, was I extremely confused, feeling as though the walls have closed in on me? Where do I go from here? Do you escape from this type of pain? I can't move. It's difficult to breathe. I was at the point of death. I am no longer dancing in my mother's womb. I no longer hear my mother's heartbeat. But somewhere in the silence, I heard another rhythm. I think it's mine. After all this time dancing to someone else's beat, how do I ever begin to dance to my own? It seems where I am, I'm constantly getting off beat, somehow ending up following someone else's, doing their dance. As soon as I began to dance to the rhythm of my own beat, it seemed my music stopped. I was dancing, then she rejected me. I was dancing, then they touched me. I was dancing when he said he didn't want me. I was dancing when he liked me. This time I kept on dancing until I let him. Then he left me. I was dancing, then sickness and failure came. I was trying to find my beat when an undesired marriage came, then abuse came. I was lost in the rhythmless tango, filled with pain, fears, disappointment, secrets. Feelings I never uttered to a soul except the one that heard them while dancing in my wombs. It seemed there where I am, there's no room for dancing. So I gave up dancing to my own tune in order to preserve my sons. I was divorced and heard a little thump. When I experienced a tremendous loss, a woman I saw dancing my entire life, my grandmother. The thump I was hearing slowly dissipated into darkness of my despair. I was sick in my body, a single mother, a grief-stricken granddaughter, a battered ex-wife, indulging in alcohol and other drugs. I was reckless, an insufficient soldier, an insecure teen, a rejected sister, a confused